Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you step by step how to paint this miniature dachshund. It's a smooth coat dachshund and it was a request from one of my patrons, Peggy. So thanks Peggy for your request. I hope you guys enjoy this step by step tutorial and this process on a black canvas today. I'll list all the colors and brushes in the description below this video. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. We're going to be using burnt sienna today, Mars black, titanium white, and possibly a few other colors. Okay, to start this painting I'm going to be using a number 4 Filbert brush, and we're working on a 14 by 14 black primed stretched canvas. You can do this on any color canvas that you want. It doesn't have to be black, it's just my preference for this painting today. So I'm going to get my brush a little bit wet, I'm going to dry it off, and I'm going to start with dark gray. And I'm going to just work on the basic shape. I'm going to do this freehand. It's super easy, guys. Don't get intimidated. So the top of the head, a little like that, a half circle or a little arch. And I'm going to just come in here. And I'm just going to turn my brush this way, flat, and then sort of just scumble. Use my finger, just a little bit there to blend. So I'm just going to work on where the shine is on his or her velvety, beautiful velvety satin coat. Got a gorgeous coat. And I'm going to come in with the ear, be a little line right here, and that folds over and comes in. Oops, I'll come over that with a bit of black and adjust that. And then a little bit of black in here. So just look at your photo that you're using. This is just one I was looking at on Pinterest. You want copyright free, obviously. And I'm just going to come in now with some white, making that light gray color again, just to create this fold that comes over here. You want to pull and kind of just wrap around, curve with your brush, and then curve this way, kind of just turn it so it goes like this, right? In all directions. And that's sort of a darker gray up in here, and then a bit more black in here. Just do this one step at a time with me, guys. Don't get intimidated at all. We're using a limited palette today, which is a lot less intimidating and easier to approach, especially if you're a beginner. And even if you're an intermediate, it's really quite satisfying and fun to use a limited palette like this, where we're just going to use a little bit of burnt sienna after for the markings on his face. And I'm just looking at his markings. He's got the same kind of markings as my little dog. I've got a Pomeranian Chihuahua. We love her so much. She's actually keeping me company right now in my studio. She usually does. She's really my best friend. She always wants to be with me. Okay, so there's one ear for now. We'll leave it like that. I'm going to come in with some more white now across the top. Bring up the highlights a little bit more. And then I'm going to go like this again. So I put white on there, but it's turning gray. Do you notice that? Because we still have a little bit of black in our brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of black. And this tutorial is very beginner friendly, okay guys? We're not going to worry too much about making it look like it's real. I mean, if that happens during the process, so that's awesome, but that's not what our goal is. We just kind of want to get a basic idea that this is a dachshund. And then we've got a black area right in here. An eye. And then right in here, we've got a little area. It's going to be a little bit black right in here. And then we're going to start with his eyebrow. I'm going to do just a really rough kind of sketch first here. Sort of a sketch. We're sketching with our paintbrush. And then it comes out. And then it's going to be black in between. This side's going to be brighter. The light's hitting it more. And then we'll come up. See, I've just been using the same brush this whole time. All you have to do is turn it different ways. And then we've got a white right here. And the top of his nose, or the bridge of his nose. Okay, and then there's black right in here. Gonna make his ear a little bit longer here, and then I want to leave a bit more space in here in between his nose and his ear. So there's lots of light grays, dark grays going on. And just gonna push and twist. He's got really big eyes, beautiful eyes. Dachshunds are so cute, aren't they? I'm just a dog lover. There's not too many dogs that I don't think are cute. A line there. And we're going to go right underneath. Little gray patch right there next to his eye. And I come in here with just straight black. Add some more shadow on his ear now. More black right in here. It doesn't take long, guys. Just believe in yourself, you can do it. I feel like the more for me anyways, and the students that I've talked to over the years, we just all agree that when we stop and really think about something that we're painting, we start to overthink it and we get intimidated. And that's when we start to second guess ourselves. And it comes through in our paintings. So just trust your gut and just keep painting, just keep doing it. Just a little bit higher right there. We'll have to go over that with some more white. Just want to bring that up a little bit higher. We have a little white patch or a brown patch there. A little thin hair. How are we doing, guys? You staying with me here? I bet you guys are doing awesome. Take a bit of black. That's got to be really, really square right there, or straight line. Then we're going to straighten that out a little bit. Come in with a bit more white. And we're going to come in with his ear now. He's got a couple little, let's load my brush a bit better. A couple little folds here. Right here. Down, over, that's got to come in a little bit more. I'm going to get some black and go inside here. Get really close to the edge. Come inside, right down here with the black again, and then start to make it get lighter towards the top. And let's take some more black now and come right up close here. Just a little bit closer. Pull. Sort of just on an arch there, like we did with his eyebrow. Need some more black. Push, make his eye round, come down a little bit lower. Let's have a look and see if it's lining up. Right, now I'm going to take a little bit more white. Add a little, tiny little flick of white back over here again. And, oops, I'm going to wash my brush off and get all that black out of there. Okay, so I've just got a little bit of white with a tiny bit of gray. And come down right like that. Bring it over, in, turn, flick. So it goes black to dark and then to light. So you want to make it kind of look ombre or gradiate towards the lightest gray there. Okay, and I'm going to come in here, pull over, get a little bit more white again. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this shape. Now what I want to do is clean this up a little bit here. It's not going to be completely black. I'm going to wash my brush off, and I'm going to take a little bit of this off in between here. Add some white. It was white enough before, but it starts to, and see how I'm just kind of tapping like this? It starts to set into the canvas a little bit and then dries slightly darker. So it's not you. If you notice that happening, it's not anything you're doing wrong. It's just acrylic paint. But even though it does that and it can be kind of annoying, I still love it. Everyone's got their medium that they like to use. Now whether you're a watercolor artist or oil, you can still follow these colors and these brush strokes and paint along with me. Adding a little bit of light gray. Now coming in with more black. Just going to define this a little bit more. And then I'll do some more detail with a smaller brush after. And I'm just taking some more black. White. kind of tap in lightly. And back to my white. So he's going to have his little brown patches right in here. His little eyebrows. And pull up and down. A little bit of gray in there. Start working on the little highlights in his eyes. I will be switching over to a smaller brush soon. I'm going to dry this off. I just want to finish adding some more of the highlights. Blend some of that out. So this guy has a little bit of a black spot there, a little marking. And where else? Okay, so right down here, I'm gonna come up. Again, staying with that same direction. It's going to be a little bit brighter right here. And then I'm gonna pull and scoop. We're just going to do a very thin, faint line there. A little bit of white that joins, this little faint white line that joins up down here. It starts to turn up, and then there's shadow in here, and then a little bit more of a highlight shimmer there. Then a little bit more right in here. More white. Okay, I'm going to take a bit more black now. I'm not washing my brush off. I'm going to come right here. Make that look more like a line. And then pull and flick up. Come right in there. So it looks like his ear's folding over a little bit there. And then right in here, there's a bit of a shadow. Right by his eye. There's a line that comes down like that for the side of his face. Okay, I'm going to start to work more around his eye now. Just going over those highlights we added before. Just adding some more now to brighten it up. Just using a little bit of light gray. I need a little bit more, that didn't really work. And bring his ear up just slightly higher. There we go. Smooth that out a bit. That one as well. Add more white right here because I want it to show up after I dry it off, and then I add the brown. Okay, let's come in here again. So I did a little line and a long line right next to it, leaving a little black line inside. Pull. Come around now, re-highlight. Okay, so I think he's looking pretty cool so far. I'm going to dry him off and we'll start adding some more details. Okay, I'm going to start adding some white details to his eyes, lines and the little highlights. I'm using a long liner brush, getting some white. And we're going to create a little triangle right here. Paint it in completely white. We're going to come right down here, pull, do a little dab, a little bit bigger, and then a dot. I'm going to blur that up a little bit just because it was not supposed to be bright white there. Okay, and then above, we're going to go up, skinny hair, up, flick, 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 and down on a slant. That gives him those little sad, give me a cookie puppy dog eyes, doesn't it? I can never say no to my dog Tilly when she looks at me like that. Come around the bottom, do a few little lines like this. And then he's got a little hair right like that. A hair, whisker, I don't know. And a couple little ones right there. Okay, so now I'm just going to move down here for a minute. I'm just going to start doing little taps. Kind of go in a little arch like this. These are going to be for his whisker area. Need to brighten that up. Full contrast here, right next to his nose. And so it's a bit rounded there, and then it comes down straight, and then soft little angle like that, okay? Let's go up and do the same on this side, but it's not going to be as bright. So I'm not going to add any more white to my brush. Okay, so I think we've got a good eye area here. Maybe we'll just do a few little flicks here for some hairs. And let's come up here, add a little bit more white on his eyebrow. Lightly pull, I'm gonna set my pinky here and steady my hand. Up on an angle, rounded, down and around. We don't want to make him look mad, we just want to give him a little bit of emotion. Now we're going to come right from here, we're going to leave a little space of black. Down and turn, and then right in here, see the whites of his eyes. So we're going to do a line that goes straight down. There's a little white line around that. Then I'm going to come right away with black I'm going to go in here and take some more black where it kind of just starts to join right down here. And I forgot I went over this little spot here. Goes up and then cuts off right there. Actually, it cuts off in the middle somewhat, and then you still have a little bit of white around it. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more of my black now. I come around here. A little line in between. I'm going to make a dark gray. And I'm going to just come in here, make those two sort of blend in together. Let's do our little highlight in his eye. First I want to bring this just, whoops, a little on a slant like that. Catch that right away. I do a little dab there. Dot, dot, whoops. Let's fix that, whoops. Go over with some black. It should just be a little dot and a little dot. Okay, back to the white, right about here, dips down. I'll clean that up. Back to my white. Need a very steady hand, especially with a liner brush. So if you guys want to use another small brush, go ahead, that's fine. Any brush you feel comfortable with. There we go. Now this little triangle, let me just fix my brush. This little triangle should be kind of rounded on the bottom, so I'm going to fix that. Take a little bit of black and go right in here. See how I'm holding my brush? On a bit of an angle. A little bit like that. Go to my cat's tongue tail. Cat's tongue tail, I mean cat. I think I've been in my studio for too long today. Cat tongue brush. And I'm just going to pull and flick up. Just using light gray. And a little bit of black. Smush it in with my gray to make a darker shade. Adding some more shadows. A little bit of white. I'm gonna have this come down and meet his ear. Well, I think this guy's looking pretty cute. I think this is the second dog, believe it or not. I told you guys I don't paint a lot of animals. This is the second one. The first one I did was, oh, so many years ago. It was in part of a mural I did for a little girl's room. But you know, it's fun to get out of your comfort zone and paint different things. And it helps you to grow as an artist, and it gives you kind of a break if you're tired of working on the same things. I don't think I ever get tired of the things that I paint, so I'm just taking more white right here. But I do like to challenge myself from time to time. This is just kind of a personal challenge. And like I said before, it was a request. I definitely wouldn't have done this. That's why I enjoy taking requests over on Patreon, because it forces me to get out of my comfort zone. And it's also a way for me to say thank you for those that help support and fund my videos. A line right there. I think I'm just about ready now to start coming in with the color. Just a little bit of that burnt sienna, and then we'll be all done. What I'm going to do is whiskers too, I guess. Right in here, there's a slight shadow. Very light. This is a really cool brush to use. It's nice because you can use it sort of like a filbert. It's a good filler, and then you've got that nice pointy end that you can use as a liner brush too. Okay, so it's time for the burnt sienna, and I'm going to use a little bit of white with it. I come right in here. I might add maybe even like a little bit of orange too. We'll see. think I'll have to just to make it show up a little bit better. And there's a little bit right in here. A little hint of it. Just be a little tiny line in there. And I'm going to take a little bit of white. Start softening this. Grab some more white. More white. It's going to be quite bright here. We're just going to start very carefully with the tip of our brush. So this is smaller than this side, but that's because this is more in shadow. And let me just sort of blend this in a little bit. Come in with some black. There's a bit of black that comes right down here. A little bit of black with my burnt sienna. An angle like that. Come down. Down for where his little lines are for his whiskers. Right in there. And then a little one here. These ones are a little bit thick, so I'm gonna fix those. See, I'm just doing a little push with my brush. Now it looks like it's more in shadow, right? It's got to be darker on this side. That looks better. That is one sad puppy dog face, isn't it? Let's take a little bit of red. And this is scarlet red, in case you're wondering. It's got a bit more warmth to it. The color on his eyes, the markings there. So I'm going to take a little bit of this red here. Kind of warm it up a little bit. A little bit in here. Then I'm going to take some yellow ochre. So that's almost the perfect color now for the dachshund that I'm painting anyways. Yours might look totally different. I'll do a little bit in here. I'm going to take a little bit of white. Just white with my yellow ochre. And a bit of a highlight. Just little hairs right down here. Little tiny hairs. Just going to take a little bit more of my gray. Come in here before I call this one done. Some more white. Just going to take a little bit of black, pull that up in there. A little bit, a little tiny bit of yellow ochre. I'm going to take some of this whisker off with a clean brush. Getting very close, sliding my brush together quickly to make those look thinner. Now I'm just about done. I take a few colors, black, yellow ochre, and burnt sienna on the tip of my brush. And I'm going to do some tiny little dots like this where those whiskers come out, okay? Little tiny ones. This brush has just been excellent. I got a lot done with using only a few brushes today. Oh, it's a bit too dark right there. Let's fix that with a little bit of yellow ochre and burnt sienna. So as I finish this one up, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you got inspired today. And I'm looking forward to my next request. Don't know what it'll be, but I'm sure you guys will have something that'll keep me on my toes. I just want to add a little bit more white in here. Taking a little bit of black and making this line skinnier. That'll bring this part out further. Right up here though, final highlight. Just tapping with white and a dry brush. So this painting is all done, you guys. I hope you really enjoyed this one. I had so much fun painting it. Thanks, Peggy. And please subscribe to my channel for more. Tap that bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you next time. Stay positive and creative. Bye, guys.